Welcome to the Fanatic Mindset, another season 2 episode, and today I have an incredible guest. I am so honored and so excited, even a little bit nervous, to be honest with you. Today my guest is Lunga Siyo. So one of the things that I think I noticed is maybe a gap in the conversation, in the Fanatic Mindset conversation, is the conversation around, individuals who are looking to get to a place where they can too be CEOs. Because not all of us have the same ambitions in life. So some of us want to be really successful business owners, and I think entrepreneurship is a big thing because of the unemployment rate. So people are just solving it for themselves. But you still have those people that are hardcore corporate people who want to have corporate careers, who want to be the Lunga CEOs of tomorrow. So I want us to talk about the journey.
Okay.
The first question, was it always something you wanted? The CEO seat that you now sit on?
I can tell you, no, not at all. Absolutely not. I mean, all of us, you start careers because you want a job, right? You get a job and then you want to get paid for it, but then you quickly realize, actually you've got to start doing well in this thing, otherwise they'll fire you. So I was actually, surrounded by people that were very, early on in my career. I worked for one of the big oil companies, BP, and I'm happy to talk about them because they really shaped who I am, right? They high performance company, literally were prioritizing performance over everything else, and if you didn't perform, they'll cut you off, right? But they'll spend a lot of time, developing young talent to make sure that you become who you want to be. So that really shaped me. Right? However, that time it was always a plan of, so how's the next 2-3 years going to look like? Right? How's the next 2-3 years going to look like? And I'd work towards that. And at some point that changed into, actually, potentially I could be one of the business unit leaders, right? And that's when you realize, you've been putting a lot of work into it, and then people start recognizing your talents, and they start also telling you that, you could go far, right, if you just put your mind at it. But, work hard, do certain things, develop yourself, become a better leader, and actually, during that time, that evolution, you also see people leaving corporate, starting businesses, becoming entrepreneurs. And you'd want to do the same thing as well. However, the corporate bug was like literally just there before I could jump.
I love that you use that word, the corporate bug, because I believe in the corporate bug. And when it's bitten, it's bitten. You can step out of corporate for a little bit, but it has a very powerful pull.
It pulls you back. Actually, up until someone set me down and say, stop trying what you're doing, right? You either here or you step out of it and start something new. But let me remind you, actually in corporate, you could potentially become a professional businessman. You are trading your skills
the concept
for
of a profession.
salary. You're not invoicing, but you're just getting a salary. But you're also trading your skills and capabilities to a corporate. So you are a businessman. So think of yourself as a businessman and start developing yourself as a businessman, and link your own ambitions to that of a business. So if a business wants to grow, you also want to grow, then grow the business. You are a businessman. You
know what's interesting about that? And it's obvious because it's obviously shaped you a lot. The few conversations we've had, the one thing that remains top of mind, or that keeps coming out that you say, is about the numbers. The business has got to make business, the business has got to make money. And I'm thinking, I don't often get this. CEOs do talk about business making money, but you talk about it like it's your own business.
Absolutely. Because when you marry the two, then you don't feel like it's a job. Actually, something else must happen before. You've got to like the industry. You've got to like what you're doing. And because initially it starts about, no, let me just collect a check. But at some point you get bored, and then you want to jump to another check, to another check, to another check. By the time you know it, I've seen people earning so much money by the time they're 30 with zero skills or capabilities. And you rock up at an interview, and we can quickly pick up. Okay, there's no depth, there's no experience.
There's no depth.
There's no depth, there's no experience. you've just been chasing the check.
Yes.
So you haven't developed yourself. Even business people do that. So you might have been a marketer, starting a marketing business. You quickly have to develop HR skills, finance skills, all these other capabilities.
As you would if you were in your your own business.
Exactly. So you need to do exactly the same thing in corporate.
Sure.
So that's how growth comes. It comes at the back of developing yourself to understand the full value chain of the business. And it gets to a point where I was like, actually I could run a BU.
Yeah.
Then what's the next step for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I need leadership skills. Oh, I need to be a better leader. What does that mean? What's the difference between a manager and a leader?
Yeah.
What is it that I can do to do that?
Yeah.
And then you literally just start working towards that. But let me also tell you something that I think I didn't tell you before was someone then said to me, listen, you gotta start projecting now. At 35, you must be at a certain level. If you wanna run a BU, maybe use that as some sort of
stepping stone.
As a yardstick that when I'm 35, I'm either reporting to someone who runs a BU or I'm running a BU.
So in other words, as you would in a business, and you make a plan for yourself that says, this business right now is making 200,000, in 5 years time it needs to be making $1 million. That is exactly the kind of thought process you've got to apply to your career. Okay.
And when you get given an opportunity to run a, let's call it a P&L, or you've got a commercial role, and it usually has revenue targets. So you actually literally said, if this business that I've inherited was generating 10 million, in 2-3 years, I wanted to generate 30.
And it's got to be personal like that.
It's personal.
Like it's really personal for you, I can tell,
It does, because then that's you're literally writing your own check, your own success. Then when it gets there, your own personal growth will literally mirror your business growth. Because then someone is going to say, whoa, so this guy can run a business. Can you come and run this part of the business? Or can you actually lead this large part of the business as CEO? And then like, are you sure you're talking to me? Like, yeah, you. And it's that simple.
I just had such a big light bulb moment, and I've never quite heard it said that way, and I've been in corporate for a long time. I've done leadership programs and but you just said your business growth, as your business grows, so should you.
Yes.
Oftentimes, and I've been in some businesses that have failed phenomenally, even within a corporate environment, you can see that this business outgrew its leader. And that does happen, doesn't it?
It does happen. And sometimes leaders grow and the business fails as well. Because don't get trapped in an idea of I have to succeed at all costs. Sometimes you might inherit a business that is bound to fail. Okay. But it's how you actually manage that failure. Right? So there's something in business called, you could run a particular, so it's like an old product line. That people are migrating away from. Yes. So how do you manage it to the last rand? Yes. Right? Yes. How do you, over a period of time, but while you're doing that, how do you create this new product that's going to replace the old one and start doing that? Yes. Now that process is the scary one because you're literally running something that's failing. People are not seeing the success because what you're building, it's still new. It still has to grow. Now seeing that through over a 3-year period is daunting. One, it's stressing, and people usually jump and leave it. They jump ship because they don't want to become part of this failure. So you're not being patient enough to see what you've created. Someone else jumps in and literally just picks up from where you left off, and they take the success as if it was theirs.